Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're talking about the T10, the video you've all been requesting for ages. Apparently, curiosity never dies, especially when it comes to something as mysterious as the T10. People keep asking, how much does it cost? Where do I even start? What am I actually getting out of this? So today, we're clearing it all up. There's not much solid information out there, and plenty of players still don't know the basics. The total badge cost, the research path, what to expect in the arena, and of course, whether unlocking it is actually worth the grind. So yes, I'll be covering everything connected to the T10. Brace yourselves. Here's the plan. I'll take you through every research step and every level, exactly, step by step, and show how many badges you'll need. I've prepared some Excel sheets with all the badge costs laid out. Yes, Excel, because nothing screams fun weekend like formulas. We'll start with the basics. How much power the T10 gives you and how big the actual jump is in the arena. A lot of you asked if it will suddenly make you unstoppable. I'll answer that later. Spoiler, it helps, but it's not magic fairy dust. We'll talk about endgame stats, especially defense, attack, and hit point stats, and how they stack to make your troops ridiculously strong. I'll compare T10 units with other T10s and show how they look versus other troop types. Also, unlocking max level does not automatically mean you'll compete with players who've had T10 for a while. I'll explain why. And of course, I'll show you how much it costs to actually produce T10 troops and how to boost them even further. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. Someone will answer, or I will. Unless it's, why is this so expensive? Because honestly, we're all wondering that. Alright, spreadsheets ready, badges counted, expectations managed. Let's get started. Starting from the basics. When you first start the game, you begin with troop level 1. You won't use them long. Honestly, they're more of a tutorial decoration than an actual troop type. If you know what you're doing, you can jump straight to T3 or even T4 early in the game. But let's go through all troop levels so you fully understand the mechanics and why T10 should eventually become your main long-term goal. T1 starts at 160 power, 5 attack, 7 defense, and 50 hit points. The load stat, well, it exists. That's about it for early game. Higher load means your army can carry more resources when you loot, whether it's an enemy HQ or the new resource vault system. Each attack bings resources based on your load value, so the higher the troop tier, the more you can grab per hit. Moving on, T2, Hunter, 330 power, 10 attack, 10 defense, 60 HP. A small upgrade, but again, not a troop you'll stay with for long. As I said earlier, you can basically skip to T3 early on. T3, Crossbowman, 490 power, 13 attack, 13 defense, 72 HP. Then comes T4, where we see a more noticeable jump, 940 power, 17 attack, 17 defense, 86 HP. Now we hit the first real milestone, T5. This is your early game target, and you'll unlock it in just a couple of days. Much higher power. 21 attack, 21 defense, 99 HP. T6 brings another bump, 26 attack, 26 defense, 114 HP. Then we enter the elite troop category with T7, 30 attack, 30 defense, 128 HP. 2600 power. And yes, once you unlock T7, you'll feel a huge difference in early game strength. These usually unlock around headquarter level 21. Next is T8. 35 attack, 35 defense, 141 HP. Unlocks at HQ 24. These hit much harder than anything lower. In the arena, this upgrade alone can give you a power jump of several million. Definitely a satisfying bump. P. At HQ 27, you unlock T9. 4340 power, 40 attack, 40 defense, 148 HP. T9 is basically every player's mid-game goal. They give a very big boost in arena and overall power, and you'll feel a massive difference compared to players stuck on T8 or below. But here's the thing. You'll be sitting on T9 for quite a while. Many players stay there forever, but they shouldn't, because your real goal should be T10. To get there efficiently, you should first finish the Alliance Recognition Research. This doubles your rewards from the Alliance Duel event, meaning twice the badges from every chest. Considering how badge-hungry T10 is, this boost is absolutely essential long-term. Yes, it costs a lot, but the earlier you unlock Alliance Recognition, the faster you progress toward T10. After that, dump everything into T10 research like your life depends on it. Once you finally unlock T10, you gain access to the Invader. All T10 troop types, riders, assaulters, shooters, have identical stats, so I won't repeat the same numbers 3 times. T10 stats: 5,640 power, 45 attack, 45 defense, 155 HP, 2,000 load. Now, when you look at the raw stats, you might think, wait, that's it? Only plus 5 attack defense over T9 and plus 7 HP? That looks tiny. And yes, on paper, it looks small. But don't be fooled. Those small base increases get multiplied by percentage stats, like troop attack boosts, HP boosts, defense boosts, and more. After multipliers kick in, that tiny difference suddenly becomes gigantic. The math basically turns T10 into a different species. When you're fighting with T10, anything below T9 might as well not exist. You slice through them like a hot knife through butter. Some T9 players will feel tanky at the beginning, but as you continue researching, upgrading your vehicle, and stacking bonuses, T10 becomes absolutely monstrous. After a while, raiding T9 headquarters feels like a casual warm-up exercise. So now you should have a much better idea of troop progression and why getting higher-tier troops early gives you an edge. Unlocking T8 or T9 quickly will let you dominate other players in the early and mid-game. But let's be realistic. For most players, unlocking T10 early isn't feasible. That's why the immediate practical goal is T9, and the target HQ level to push for is Headquarter 27. Yes, I'll make a separate video showing fast, efficient ways to do that. This one's already long enough to be a small novel. Once you hit T9, you'll already have a significant advantage: faster resource gains, better rating, and a smoother road toward T10. But unlocking T10 isn't just about base stats. It's about the stat multipliers that explode those small raw differences into huge in-game advantages. Let me show you why those tiny gaps matter. Why small stat increases become massive. Here's the deal. A battle report from an endgame setup shows gargantuan multipliers on the core troop stats. We're talking troop attack and troop defense boosted by over 5,000%. Yes, 5,000%. So that plus 5 attack, plus 5 defense difference between T9 and T10, it's not plus 5 in practice. It's plus 5 times those multipliers. You do the math. It becomes enormous. Troop hit points are also heavily multiplied in endgame builds. In the example I'm showing, it's boosted by 374%. Remember, T10 had plus 7 HP over T9. Boost that plus 7 by 374%, and suddenly it's a lot more than 7 extra hit points. Combine that with the attack defense multipliers, and small base upgrades turn into a giant leap in survivability and damage output. How the stats interact, the fun part. These 3 stats, troop HP, troop attack, troop defense, are tightly linked. More HP equals troops live longer. They deal more total damage. Higher defense equals harder to kill, synergizes perfectly with extra HP. Higher attack and separate troop damage boosts increase damage output even further. They multiply and stack. Defense plus extra HP makes your units durable. Attack plus troop damage makes them lethal. When all three are boosted, T10 isn't just better, it plays in a different league. Where all these multipliers come from? Let's break down the sources so you know what to prioritize. Troop HP, big chunks from heroes and technology. Modified vehicle bonuses, including those unlocked via T10 research and other tech. Other smaller sources throughout the game. Troop attack, largely from heroes and technology. Possible vehicle contributions are significant. Faction bonuses also add up. Troop defense, heavy contributions from heroes and vehicles. Some from technologies, HQ structures, being an official in the capital, alliance technologies, VIP, and other small sources like decorations and seasonal buildings. Other small sources. Decorations can boost attack and defense. Apaka Aid. Monthly packs and similar bundles sometimes add small but useful bonuses. Alliance Tech and HQ Structure. Bonuses are sprinkled across many players' builds, so don't ignore those. Troop Damage. Separate stat. Don't confuse it. Troop Damage is a distinct multiplier from Troop Attack. In the example I showed, Troop Damage was nearly plus 500%. Main contributors. Heroes. Some hero skills add direct damage. Vehicle multipliers. Arena Reward. The only decoration that boosts troop damage. And it's free to earn in Arena if you grind it. Mastery and Combat Skill Tree Upgrades. Important. Troop Attack and Troop Damage are separate and both extremely valuable. Vehicle bonuses tend to multiply with these other attributes and can create insane final numbers. If you want to scale up quickly, prioritize sources that increase both base attack defense and the separate damage multipliers. Bottom line, priorities. 1. Get to T9 as soon as realistically possible. HQ 27 is the milestone. 2. Unlock Alliance recognition early if you can. Doubling Alliance dual badge rewards accelerates access to T10. Focus research and upgrades on heroes, vehicle modifications, and technologies that increase troop HP, attack, and defense. Don't ignore troop damage sources, Coliseum, vehicle, hero skills, mastery. They multiply the effect of base attack. Extra HP is extremely important. Grab it wherever available. Alright, let's move into the lab, because this is where things get serious. This is the most important area you need to focus on for unlocking T10. Where to start, what matters, and of course, how much it will cost you. Spoiler, a lot. This is what the unit special training tree looks like. There are 22 total research tiles, and I'll quickly go through what each one gives you. The first tile is Troop Attack, and right next to it you have Troop Defense, each giving 15% at max level. Then you get Troop Training plus 20%, also max level. After that, you have troop-specific upgrades for assaulters, riders, and shooters. Each of these tiles gives plus 20% attack or defense at max. All of these early tiles are quite easy to unlock, and maxing them gives you a nice boost early on. This part of the tree makes you feel like unlocking T10 isn't that bad. Like, wow, I'm halfway through already. Yeah, don't get fooled. The first 15 tiles are the honeymoon phase. After that, the costs skyrocket and start eating badges faster than players eat speed-ups on kill events. I'll show you those numbers in a moment. Next, we get propulsion plus 20%, which increases your march speed on the map. It's genuinely nice. You can actually catch players trying to run from you. And yes, they will run. After that comes training speed plus 30%. Also great. You'll fight, lose troops, fight again. So being able to train replacements faster is always welcome. Then we reach another pair. Troop Attack plus 25% and Troop Defense plus 25%. Very solid tiles, and you don't really have a choice if you're aiming for T10 anyway, but at least they're worth having. Next is Demolition Crew with plus 20% destruction value. This one is interesting. Not many technologies boost destruction value, and this tile is one of the rare ones. What does it mean? It means you burn enemy headquarters faster. early game, this is actually bad for you. If you light someone's HQ on fire too fast, you get fewer resource hits before it collapses, which slows your progress toward T10. So early in the game, try to avoid any destruction value boosts. There aren't many sources, but remember this tip. Even if you're staying T9 long-term, high destruction value equals fewer farming hits equals fewer resources. Not great. Later in the game, however, destruction value becomes extremely useful. In events like State Ruler, where you must clear enemy HQs around the capital, destroying them faster is exactly what you want. Anywhere HQ clearing is needed, high destruction value saves time and attacks. Now, we get to the final mini-cluster, the last 6 tiles. These are specific to troop types and give plus 40% attack for assaulters, riders, shooters, plus 40% defense for each of them. These bonuses stack beautifully with your T10 stats and make your T10 significantly stronger. Now we finally reach the last 2 tiles in the unit special training tree. And these are the big ones. The first one is Recharge Shield. And honestly, it's one of the strongest upgrades in the entire lab. When maxed out, it gives you plus 50% troop hit points. Yes, 50%. This is absolutely insane. This upgrade is one of the main reasons your troops suddenly feel unkillable and last so much longer in battles. It's insanely valuable. And of course, insanely expensive. Because why would the game ever make the good stuff affordable? Don't worry. I'll show you exact badge cost breakdowns for every single tile, including this one, in just a few minutes. Now, the final tile in the tree is simply called the Unit Special Training. It has only 1 level, but don't let that fool you. It's very expensive. However, once you finish this one, congratulations, you finally unlocked T10. You'll now be able to produce T10 units for all 3 troop types. And yes, this is the moment where you can clap your hands, pat yourself on the back, celebrate, scream, or cry. Whatever feels right after surviving the badge grind. You earned it. When you fully complete this entire special training tree, it usually adds around 20 million arena power. And here's the funny part. If you waited way too long to unlock T10, like upgrading everything else, pushing power, doing other tech first, you might reach 200 million power while still on T9, which is, honestly, kinda wild. It means you were focusing on all the wrong things. But the good news is, once you finally unlock T10, your arena power will jump even more dramatically. If you do everything correctly and unlock T10 at the right time, you should see plus 20 million arena power or more on top of your existing stats. And yes, it's a huge difference. Alright guys, buckle up! Grab your emotional support snacks, because today I'm gonna show you the true, painful, soul-melting cost of unlocking Unit Special Training. Yes, the T10 research. The research that ruins friendships, destroys badge savings, and makes grown men whisper into the night. Why? Why did I start this? Let's begin. So first, to even enter this magical world of financial suffering, you need a level 30 laboratory. And to get that, you need a level 30 headquarters. So basically, you need to sprint to HQ 30 like your life depends on it. We now have HQ 35, sure, but for T10 research, HQ 30 is the golden ticket. It takes resources, effort, and probably 1 or 2 mental breakdowns, but trust me, it's worth it. Eventually, at some point. Probably, once your HQ hits 30 and your laboratory hits 30, congratulations. You have officially unlocked the research tree. This is the moment where your badges dramatically faint on the floor. Now let's go through this beast step by step. First research, fire up. Starts off nice and gentle. Level 1 is 700 badges. Level 10 is 4,700 badges. And the total is 21,350 badges. It boosts troop attack and gently whispers, "See, this isn't so bad." Do not trust it. Next is armor upgrade. Same cost, same levels, same exact thing, but defense. This tree likes copy and paste. It saves time by making you suffer faster. Moving on to fast production. Total cost is 26,700 badges. Start at 900 badges, end at 5,900. This improves training speed, which you'll desperately need because T10 units take longer to train than waiting for your pizza delivery on a Friday night. Now we enter the troop type bonuses. The first row is all about attack. Mobility enhancement for riders, melee combat for assaulters, weapon upgrading for shooters. Each one costs 36,200 badges total. 10 levels, starting at 1,300 and ending at 7,900. By now, you're starting to feel the financial pain. Maybe a small tear rolls down your cheek. That's normal. Next row is defense versions. Stronger armor for riders, shield upgrade for assaulters, camo coating for shooters. Again, 36,200 each. At this point, you are realizing you are doing the same research 3 times. You are paying triple for the same mechanic. It's like buying 3 identical drinks because the game said so. Now we move to propulsion. Total 39,800 badges. Level 1 costs 1,400. Level 10 is 8,600. This gives march speed, so you can chase people who try to run away from you on the map. And yes, you'll be faster than all players who haven't touched this tree. Congratulations, you can now become a mobile menace. Next, fast production again. Same cost, 39,800. More training speed. Because the game knows T10 training times are so long you could start a new hobby while you wait. Back to fire up and armor upgrade, but this time, the game said, let's make it painful. These cost 58,200 badges each, starting at 2,100 badges per level, finishing at 12,700. This boosts general attack and defense. All troops get the bonus, but all your badges leave your account immediately. And finally, Demolition Crew, 32,600 badges total. Starts at 2,900 and ends at 12,700. One level costs almost as much as the most expensive badge pack in the game shop. This is the moment where most players reconsider their life choices. And this ends the big cluster. First 14 upgrades, total cost 515,200 badges. You think that's a lot? That was the warm-up. That was the tutorial level. The game just gave you the illusion of progress. You feel strong. You feel confident. You are wrong. Unsense. Now we enter the small cluster. Only 8 upgrades. Very innocent name, but this section costs 972,900 badges. Million for 8 upgrades. The game basically said, surprise, now the real suffering begins. Starting with attack bonuses again. Mobility enhancement, melee combat, weapon upgrading. All with 15 levels now. Total cost, 116,500 badges each. Level 1 is 2,000. Level 15 is 17,900. Your badges will be screaming for help. Then the defense versions. Stronger armor, shield upgrade, camo coating. Same 116,500 badges each. Same pain, same emotional trauma. You have now accepted your fate. Once you finish those, you get to recharge shield. This one is like the boss fight. It costs 219,000 badges total. 20 levels. Starts at 1,900, but ends at 28,700 per level. Yes, that's one upgrade costing almost 30,000 badges. But it gives plus 50% troop HP, which is amazing. Your troops will finally feel like muscular superheroes instead of wet cardboard. Then finally, the last research. Unit Special Training. Only one level. Costs 54,900 badges. After everything you've spent. This one feels like pocket change. Do it, and congratulations. You have unlocked T10. You may now exhale, collapse, and question your decisions. The entire tree costs 1,488,100 badges. That is why T10 players are still rare. They walked through the valley of badge death and survived. Now here's why I separated the research into two sections. Big Cluster is 14 upgrades costing 515,200 badges. Small Cluster is 8 upgrades costing 972,900 badges. So the small section is smaller only by name, not by price. The early part of the tree tricks you into thinking you're making amazing progress. But really, by the time you finish Demolition Crew, you've only done about 1/3 of the total cost. You still need to burn another 1,000,000 badges. That is why so many players cry about this tree. But listen, this is all doable. Just do not waste badges on anything else. Save everything. Do your upgrades on Lab Day and during Alliance Duel. Finish the Alliance Recognition Tree to get extra badges from daily chests. Save every speed up you can find because some of these upgrades take days or even weeks. Spend diamonds smartly, especially during the discounter event where badges are cheaper. This probably needs a whole separate video explaining badge farming, and I might make that one next. So now you understand how to unlock T10, what it costs, and why it feels like selling your soul. Do not be scared. Make it your main goal. Focus on it, and eventually you will get there. You will be stronger. Your troops will be stronger, and you will proudly look back at your suffering and say, never again. If you already have T10, comment how you survived collecting 1.5 million badges. If you have questions, write them down. This video was long, but the topic is basically a marathon of pain. If needed, I'll make a follow-up video. Alright guys, that covers the important stuff. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Help us grow. Share this video in your world chat and spread the word. Support us by subscribing, hitting that like button, and leaving a comment to tell us what you'd love to see next. Thank you.